from Farmer Schools, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you our calves. We're going back to 1 a day feeding on our calves. It's time now. I checked up some of the dates of the ages on them the day before yesterday, and some of them are just in and around 80 days or a little over it, and we were giving them 2 a day feeding, which is basically going by what it states on the bag, up to 56 days, which they should be down to 1 a day feeds. We normally used to let them run a small bit longer, but never this long, so we're going to be cutting them back as of today down to a 1 day feed. And I'm just going to increase their 1 a day feed by a half a litre just for this week, and then I'm just going to gradually bring them down until I get them down to basically nothing. That's how I wean them off. I don't wean them off just cold turkey. I'll just wean them off a small bit at a time. That way that they're getting still getting a small amount over a longer period. So yeah, that's basically what we're doing. I'll just when I'm feeding them in the shed, I'll just give you a quick clip on that, and I'll just show you how they're getting on. They are thriving well. I'm hoping to this week get the Bovipass vaccination done for their second go. That means they're fully vaccinated then against the pastural pneumonia. It's about time they were done now. It's coming up, I think, on about 4 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks is the right time to be doing it. And yeah, so it's just one of them things that needs to get done. Catch you in a few. So just on our hens as well, just a quick update on these. Our hens now are consistently laying 3 eggs a day. Not sure what's happening with the other ones. We've changed the bedding up on the nesting box to wood shavings. We seem to be finding now that the 3 eggs that's being laid are going up on the hens that are laying the 3 eggs are going up onto the nesting boxes now that we've changed over to the wood shavings. Every day we're moving them around onto a fresh piece of grass as well, just so that they have plenty of pickings. As you can see, this is where they were yesterday. This is where they were 2 days ago. This is where they were yesterday. And now we've just put them in here onto this little, it's literally just get them into the coop, close down the door, and we can move it around. And it's just giving them a fresh picking of grass as well as their layers pellets. And they can scratch away on the fresh grass and the fresh water and their grit. The grit is the main thing to keep their guts or their gizzards working right. So just in here now in the calf shed, I've just decided to say to you as well that the weather has made a bit of a change. It's gone a lot colder. We've had a lot of rain here last night, and it's kind of put a change in our plans of letting out our suck calves. So we're actually going to bed them again. We're just going to drop in a round bale of straw right into the middle of the pen and just take the cover off, take the net off, and just leave them to it. They can bang it around the place and play with it and put their heads off it and things like that, and they'll eventually lie on it. So we're going to keep them in for another whiling anyway, until that bed is near past it. And as you can see here from my last video, they haven't changed the whole pile. They are thriving well. They are thriving very well. So we are delighted with the way they're coming on. So I'm going to grab my mount and I'm going to just set it up in here in the shed, and I'm going to drop in a round bale of straw, and you'll see how that happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a bale of straw, cut the cover off, and I'm just going to plop it in here so that they have access, and I'm just going to pull the net off it and just leave it to them. it down to the final layer. And I'm going to try and push it across a small bit. Further into the centre of the tape. I have to just take the net off, otherwise I can do it afterwards. Doesn't matter now, it falls apart anyway. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it to them. That's basically it. And they can play away with it, jump around in it, hit it a few slaps, headbutt it if they want. They'll get a bit of fun out of it. And that's the idea. Because they've been in here now since they came here. And sometimes you hear people saying that bucket fed calves don't get much stimulus and things like that. The funny thing about it is when you're bedding up the bucket fed calves, that when you put in the new straw, they actually get quite a bit of fun out of it, jumping and leaping around in it and rolling in it. So they do get a small bit. As you can see now, they'll start jumping about it now in a few minutes and hitting it and playing with it. And that's what you want. You know they're healthy and they're happy when you see that going on. So look guys, we're going to move on to the next part of the video and we'll catch you in a few. Our Shardy cows that we've let out last week, with the way the weather has shaped up, I thought the weather was going to be a lot drier, but it hasn't, so I'm not going to be putting them out on any fresh grass just yet. So what we're going to do is, I'll pick that bait again. What we're going to do is, we've just been giving out a feeder and just sticking a round bale of silage into it, so that they have that extra bit. This is where they are now at the minute. The grass they have it well trampled down on my small garden, as we call it, the garden at the back of the sheds. They have it well tramped down, so we're just going to bring them down a bale of silage every couple of days just to keep them ticking along. I'm just going to pull off this plastic here now before we go down. Worst thing about these bales is they are very heavy, and I've no weight on the back of the tractor. I have a shaker around, but there's nothing in it. The bales are wet, so there's not much I can do about it. So, it's one of them things of a race against time, because once they see you coming, they're pretty much on the ball, they know what's happening. And to make sure that they don't get out the gate. unfortunately, I've now got the bull behind me, who's, oh, there he is. I'm going to break up the bale for them and leave it around the outer ring, because as you remember back from my previous videos, the bull hurt his head on the feed barriers in the shade. And I'm just basically making things a small bit easier for him. He doesn't have to stick his head through the feed barriers, he can just pick out through the sides of it. And that's it. That is them fed. And they're quite happy. All cows who are out are always going to be happy. Just going to bring you out here and show you. As you can see, when they went out here first, this field was lovely and green. Our paddock used to be lovely and green, and with the way the weather has been, it's just not as dry as what we were hoping. It was always wet in this area here anyway, because there's a spring underneath the ground. There's not a whole pile we can do about that. But at least this is hard ground here, out to where that cow is standing here. But they have a bit of hard, solid ground to stand on when they're feeding. And they're happy out. Alright guys, I'm just standing in here out of the wind and the rain. It's fairly giving it down to it now. So look, I'm going to leave it at that for today's video. There's not much else I can get into it with the way the weather is. So yeah, look, if you like the video, please give it a like, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, and we'll catch you in the next one.
You should have the beacons on. It's a necessity.